Hello, bonjour, and welcome to another edition of JSL TV. I am your host. My name is Joel, and in this video, we are going to be discussing the French national team as they get set for some big World Cup qualifiers starting this weekend with a big matchup against Kazakhstan. Here are 5 things that you need to know heading into this qualifying window. Point number 1, home cooking. The French have been fantastic on home soil in recent memory. In fact, on Thursday, it will mark the 1-year anniversary since the last time the French team lost a match on French soil. That was a 2-0 defeat at the hands of Finland in a friendly at the Stade de France, with zero people in the crowd due to COVID regulations. Point number 2, tactical imbalance. This is a point that Olivier Giroud, the French striker, recently brought up. The AC Milan man recently said that the return of Karim Benzema to the French national team created a bit of a tactical imbalance for the French going into Euro 2021. Now, obviously, Karim Benzema was a massive presence and has been a massive presence for the French since his return to the lineup. Really one of the catalysts to help the French win the UEFA Nations League. He was their top goal scorer at the Euro. He had a fantastic Euro. He has had a fantastic few seasons at Real Madrid as well. He has been spectacular, but Giroud recently said that bringing him in there really threw things off a little bit for the French team because it was somebody who they were unfamiliar with. He has not been there for a long time. When you're talking about somebody who people are clearly not unfamiliar with, but somebody who has not been with the French national team for a while, that's N'Golo Kanté. But N'Golo Kanté was chosen for the French team. I can't imagine he does not draw into the starting lineup on Saturday when they take on Kazakhstan. Needing 3 points probably will be enough to get them to World Cup 2022. Perhaps not guaranteed, but it'll put them pretty close. But with N'Golo Kanté back in the fold, he has not played for the French national team since they were eliminated in that penalty shootout against Switzerland in the 2021 Euros. How is his return going to affect the tactical shifts that Didier Deschamps might put up? How is that going to affect the chemistry of the team? He hasn't been there for the last few games. We will see what kind of imbalance, if anything, that may create. It might be a bit of a learning curve for some of the youngsters who aren't too familiar with him. We will see how that affects the team. Point number 3, stepping up. And there is going to be a lot of players looking to step up for the French national team coming up on Saturday because one of their big midfield presences will not be there, and that is Paul Pogba, who pulled out of the French national team after sustaining an injury. He is back healing in Manchester. Of course, he has been invaluable to the French national team over the past few years. He can operate on the left flank. He is a great holding midfielder. He can win balls deep. He can make some great runs, has great vision with the ball, and obviously has a great nose for goal as well. How is that going to affect the French team not having him there? Who's going to step up and be sort of the playmaker for the French team? How are the French going to line up? A lot of question marks going into this matchup with Kazakhstan on Saturday, knowing that Paul Pogba, their inspirational playmaker, will not be there. We will see who will take on increased responsibilities and who's going to step up in his place, how the French are going to play without their inspirational midfielder. Point number 4, chasing the greats. Of course, the French have had some outstanding strikers throughout the years. They have some outstanding strikers right now on the current team, and a couple of them could match or surpass some former greats from way back when. We'll start with Karim Benzema. Benzema has an opportunity to move into a tie for 5th in all-time goals for the French national team. He has 33. One more would put him even with David Trezeguet. Trezeguet, of course, scored the winning goal in extra time, the golden goal for the French team at the 2000 Euro final when they came back to beat Italy 2-1. And Antoine Griezmann has a chance to make a little bit more history, move a little further up the charts in terms of all-time goals for the French national team. Griezmann is tied for 3rd with Michel Platini at 41 goals all-time for the French national team. Of course, he scored a brace in their last qualifying window when they defeated Finland 2-0. One more goal for Griezmann this weekend, and he would surpass Michel Platini and move into third all-time for the French national team. Point number 5, standing by their man. Karim Benzema, of course, was left off the French national team for years due to the blackmail and sex tape scandal involving also former teammate Mathieu Valbuena, and that verdict of that case is going to come down later on in November. November 24th is the date that everyone is anticipating it. So how is that going to affect the French national team? How is that going to affect Didier Deschamps? Of course, we've seen time and again that when somebody is involved in a scandal of any sort, whether it's true, whether it's false, they want to stay as far away from that as possible, get rid of the distractions. How is that going to affect the team knowing that the verdict is upcoming really soon? Is the French team going to be able to stay focused for these upcoming games as they only need really a victory? Is probably, like I said, going to be good enough to see them through to Qatar 2022. But will this provide any distractions? How are they going to deal with it? And how is that going to affect Karim Benzema standing with the French team? Of course, he was left off the team pretty much because of the alleged scandal years and years ago. French President Noël Le Gras recently said that he is still going to play for the French national team regardless of the verdict, which comes up later on this month. But those are just words. We'll wait and see what actually happens once the verdict comes down. Those are the 5 things you need to know about heading into their fixture. France looking for a big 3 points on Saturday, taking on Kazakhstan. They beat them in their previous encounter 2-0. We'll see how it goes on Saturday. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out more great French content in the future.